Hello, everyone. Thanks for
Go
joining me
live.
today. Let me hit record here.
There we go. Sorry about that. Moving things around. Wanted to go live today because today, August 3rd, and it's going out to all realtors. I need to get this message out because I'm hearing from many of my agents, hearing from other agents, and I'm getting calls nonstop, especially started the last day or two because it's August. These changes are coming up. MLSs are making changes, and the official change is August 17th, which again is all great, but there's something very confusing and disturbing that's happening because there's some, okay, I know, ruffle some feathers here. They're just, there's some actual full-blown companies and even part of the industry coaching systems that just don't understand this. And I know I'm not a guru of a complete one, the number one guru of real estate. I've been in it 31 years. I've thousands and tens of thousands, excuse me, of transactions that I've been a part of and help agents negotiate and know the negotiations, know. So it's kind of like to become an expert at anything, you have to do that thing hundreds of times, thousands of times. And especially when it comes to negotiating and the mindset of people in general, you have to be in negotiations a lot. You can't just, again, to no disrespect to agents, there's great agents out there, 5 years, 10 years, they sell 20, 30 houses a year until you're in the thousands and in all different markets. Again, if you have not been in real estate more since if you have only been in real estate since 2010 till today, 15 years, if you have only been in real estate 15 years, you haven't been in a different market. And let me rephrase this, Ohio, because other markets are crazy different. I'm talking about Ohio agents and what happens in our market. So, because other markets, vacation capitals of the world, second home capitals, the Airbnb craze, they have totally different markets. We are the best market in the country. I'll tell you that. I'm not talking about number of sales. I'm not talking about number of sales. And I'm sorry I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm going to get to the point. To you, Ohio agents, you have the best market. I'm not talking about number of sales, because in Florida right now, I have agent friends in Florida. They're going insane. They're going to have the best years of their life. You know why? And the next year, agents in Florida, tell everybody, get your license in Florida too, because people are selling. It's just boom, it's going to become it's buyer's market in some cities right now. The people are lowering. Just go on realtor.com or Zillow, go on, hit some cities in Florida and so your favorite vacation spots, and you'll see hundreds of houses. You'll see those little down signs, those little lower price, lower price, lower price, new, 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 new. You'll see the amount of houses for sale and the houses that sold in the last 6 months, and you're going to see a year or two of inventory. But sorry, I'm off of that. But I'm talking about our market. Our market here in Ohio is great. It's just normal people. You follow up with people, they're going to eventually buy up. They need a bigger house, smaller house, downsize. They get married, they get divorced, they get a new job, they move over here, they start working remotely. We don't have any craze. We don't have a company coming in or companies coming into Ohio. Well, in Columbus area, some areas, sometimes they get a little surge, but we have normal real estate stuff, which you can make a great career in real estate. But to the point I'm getting at, why I'm saying I know these are buyers and sellers up here. Um, there are agents out there that are still trying to stick with the old way of what we were doing. I never liked the old way of the seller and the listing agent sit there at the time of listing and decide at the time of listing how much the buyer's agent is worth. Does that sound stupid? Please, do you understand that? They don't know that buyer's agent. They're saying, I'm going to compensate you for selling my house. No, you're not paying Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you're not paying the buyer's agent to sell the house. The buyer's asking you to pay their agent for all of the work they did to the point to get them to and get them to the finish line and get them to the sold of your home. Excuse me. The buyer's agent could be working with them for 5 years. The buyer's agent might have got him off a internet lead and just talked to him 5 minutes and then made an appointment, had him sign a buyer's agreement. They're in your house today. You don't know. Now we're in control of that. Finally, we're in control of that. So the point of this video is that little entry there, and thank you for sticking with me here, is that there's some companies and offices that are their agents are saying, I'm going to call the listing agent to see if a seller is offering a commission. Well, number one, why waste your time? Why waste your time? Number two, this is my opinion, not an attorney, but my opinion. A seller can't stop you from putting in an offer. So if a seller is adamant to their buyer, to a listing agent, says, I 100% will not pay a buyer's agent. Even if you still send that offer, they have to present it. Now, back to that listing agent, I think it's unethical, unprofessional to take a listing from a seller that says that, because you're not doing your fiduciary job. That is against your fiduciary job. I'm not giving you a copy of our listing agreement on this video, but our listing agreements in our company will not allow a seller to say we 100% won't pay a buyer's agent. We will say in there, they get a choice though. When an offer comes in, if the offer is not good enough, they can go, I'm not paying. Fine, but you're going to see the offer because it's my fiduciary duty. And I know from 30 years of experience, there have been hundreds, thousands of my sellers that said, I only want to pay this and paid more. How many times have you had a seller go, I'm not paying buyer closing costs? And they do. How many say, I'm not doing any repairs? And they do. I'm not going to clean this house or do anything. And they do. It's against our fiduciary, my expert opinion. It's against our fiduciary duty to a seller to sit there at the time of listing and make a statement or make a judgment that they will not pay a buyer's agent. That you don't know what's going to come with the buyers. So to all buyers agent, to all agents out there, listen, especially if you're coming to our listings, bring it, whatever you're buying. You're supposed to have a buyer's agreement with what you want to get paid and who's going to pay you. It should be already done. We're going to be explaining to our sellers, hey, these buyers agents and buyers are going to come. We don't know their relationship. That might be their best friend. It might be their cousin. It might be they're buying for themselves. It might be someone that they just got off the internet. It might be someone that is their trusted real estate advisor. This is their 10th house they bought through them in 30 years of a relationship, and they would never think of buying a house or sell a house without this trusted lifetime real estate advisor. And they will, and Mr. and Mrs. Seller, they are going to bring an offer and they might ask you to compensate their agent for that. But again, you don't have to, you do. So to all of the agents out there, please go back. If you are with a management or a company that is promoting that you should and need, if they say need, because I'm okay with should. If you want to call the other agent, the listing agent, your buyer's agent, just to feel them out. Hey, how's the seller feeling? Now, I can't say for all our sellers. I would love all of our sellers to do what we suggest to do and say, be open, say, bring it. Whoever's the best offer, highest, best, best terms for my seller, we're going to look at it. That's it. We're going to leave no stone unturned. But if you are with a company that says, do not present an offer, do not go show a property until you call the agent to see if they're offering a commission. I get that's against your fiduciary, my opinion, against your fiduciary duty to your buyer if you have a buyer's agreement with that buyer. I even saw a video the other day. This is a prominent real estate influencer online that said, you know what I'm going to do before I start working with a buyer, I'm going to talk to the buyer, find out what kind of houses they want to see. Maybe we'll pick some houses, online, or I'll send them some houses. I'll call all those agents to find out if they're going to pay a commission before I start working with the buyer. I sent a message to that person right away. I'm like, oh my God, please. She's in another state. So please talk to your broker, please. I know you've been in the business for God knows how many years, and you're an influencer and you have 100, I think 500,000 viewers. You talk to your broker. The word working is when you start discussing what you're working, you're giving them advice, they're telling you what you are. You need to have an agreement before you start discussing. Working doesn't mean showing them houses. That's later. But sorry, I got off tangent there. Now, there's another group of people I've heard this from a few agents already, that they're being taught to, before they present an offer, send in a buyer agency agreement or buyer agency compensation addendum or form, having the seller agree to a compensation before they see the offer. I can't believe prominent, smart people and managers and brokers and real estate leaders are actually thinking that is acceptable as what's fiduciary duty to your buyer. And as a listing agent, to all the listing, but we're, again, our sellers get to make, we advise them, but I would never advise a seller to agree to a certain commission before we even see an offer. Just bring the whole offer. Why are you just sending me what this is? It's kind of like, unless you tell me how much you're going to get paid, I'm not showing you the offer. And that's what you're advising your buyer to do. Oh, people. Again, please, I'm trying to get this to as many people as possible. Talk to all of our agents. I have 3 agents right now waiting for my call. Right now, that texted me this morning. I got to get on my one right before I was doing this video. Said, I'm with a buyer right now. We're in this, this. I need his help. I've been texting him, and I know he's texting me. I apologize if you're watching this video. I'll get it to you as soon as I'm done. But listen, stop thinking about how to do things the old way, how to figure out how a seller is going to guarantee a payment to you and chat and show houses and get an agreement before. Don't worry about that. You, as a buyer's agent, is going to have an agreement with something, with a buyer, whatever your company agreement is. Our agreement, just to lift the hood, is going to have a checkbox. And it's just going to say the buyer requests us to try as much as we possibly can to ask the seller to pay for all of our commission. Done. Buyer, do you want to pay me? Do you want the seller to pay me? Do you want a combination of both? Do you want your Uncle Joe to pay me? Who's going to pay me for my services? And this is what I charge. And I think most buyers are going to say, I want the seller to pay me because put it in the price of the house, include it in the sale, because that's how it's been done all along. It's a new way of doing it. And guess what? You get to choose first. You get to choose first. You don't have to worry about the listing agent. That's why I, as a buyer, wouldn't even call the listing agent. Tony, you're bringing me this offer. I don't care what your seller is asking for or wants to pay or more. Hey, I might be asking for less than what they thought they were going to pay. Right? And that's one of our rules. That's one of our rules. If you have a buyer's agreement, I'm just throwing out a number. This is not an average. If you have a buyer's agreement, say my buyers paying 2% to me, and the listing agent, and you start presenting an offer, oh, listing agent, oh, by the way, seller would have went up to 3%. You're not supposed to get that extra money. That's part of our rules. Again, I know there's different ideas about that, but it's you're worse when you agree with the buyer of what your mark, you're not supposed to change it up or down or anything. That's, you have already agreed. You have an agreement. Similar to a listing agreement. When you have a listing agreement, usually you don't go up or down. It is what it is. So the buyer's agents, don't worry about what if the seller's thinking about it or not. Listing agents, please. Same thing what we're expressing and training our agents to do is you have a seller. They get a choice. They 100% get a choice if they want to pay or if they don't want to pay. It's okay. It's okay. But Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you got to be open. I have to do my fiduciary responsibility to you that you have to be open to see all offers. So you're going to get offers that say are high or low. Ask for closing costs, ask for the pay the buyer, fix some things, ask for inspection, not inspection. It's just part of the whole offer. And we're going to sit down and see which offer is best. That's it. That's how easy this is. But the hard part is going to be this. That's why I want to do this video today, get this out there. Sorry about the long video. It's that there's going to be some listing agents that actually don't do a good job, fiduciary job, and allow. I'm sorry if I use the word allow. Take a listing and they might, I don't know their listing agreements, might say right in there, seller is not paying a buyer's agent no matter what. Oh my gosh, I hope there's never one like this, but there might be. Or there might be at least a listing agent that says that to just to get the listing. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm going to tell every buyer's agent they're not getting anything. Oh my God, let me give you an example. I'm going to keep on this video. Imagine this. Seller said, the next door neighbor is best friends with the seller. Best friends. They've been living together next to each other for 20 years. All of a sudden, two offers come in. And one offer is about to come in, and say it's a $250,000 house. And another agent calls, said, show the house. I got it, but I have buyer's agreement, and the buyer wants you to pay. And the listing agent goes, no, seller will not pay buyer's agent. Forget about it. Do not even send me the offer. Seller's not paying buyer's agents at all. Do not bring that offer. And again, $250,000 house. The one first and fast offer comes in, not asking the buyer pay buyer's agent $250,000 list price. Next day, a couple days later, the seller's still in their house and they're sitting on their back porch, back patio. Over the fence comes the neighbor, go, hey, Tony. I'm like, yeah, what? Heard you sold your house. I'm like, yeah, we got an offer. We're so excited. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? I said, I had a great friend, or I'll say cousin, who lives on the other side of town, would love to move in and had an agent show the house. They were going to pay way over asking. They were going to pay like $275. They wanted to live next to us. This is my wife's favorite cousin. They were excited because the kids could play in the backyard. They were going to way overpay for your house. And their agent told them that you wouldn't see their offer. That you said, no, I don't even send me your offer. What happened? I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And then I'm calling my agent. Like, hey, I got my neighbor says their cousin had an agent that said they were going to send. They saw the house. They want to see. They were going to pay way over asking price, and you didn't refuse to show them that to take their offer. What did happen? It's like, and then your agent's going to say to you, that seller, oh, but you told me not to accept or even look at any other offer. You promised me. You said, do not show me any offers that the buyer's agents want to get paid. And the seller goes, well, they were going to pay over asking. They were going to pay me more. I would have made more money. You didn't explain that to me as a listing agent. You did not explain that to me, that that I could make more, might possibly make more money if even paying a buyer's agent. Well, you were, Mr. Seller, you were very adamant. You didn't want to pay a buyer's agent. I hope, sorry, I hope those lawsuits start popping up, and obviously, hopefully, if agents do what we do, we'll never have one of those lawsuits. But imagine that. That's a scenario that was 100% possible when that seller finds out through another party that they could have made more money and you because they didn't know any better. And of course, in that lawsuit, what is that attorney going to do to you as a listing agent? They're going to just drag you through the mud. Said, how did you not explain to your seller before that? Yes, that's why they hire you. You're the expert. Well, the seller told me they don't want to pay a buyer's agent. We have an example, and they're going to get testimonies from that other side going, yeah, I would have paid a lot more for their house, and you didn't want to see it, and you didn't explain to them why they shouldn't say no to any offers. Just let any offers come in. So that's the story. That's why I've seen it thousands of times in 30 years of sellers saying, I absolutely won't do this. And they do it because they're making more money or better terms. I've had sellers say, I'm not doing any repairs. I'm like, okay, well, this is the best offer we have. Oh, I got to sell my house. Fine, I'll do these repairs. It's just like that. If you, at a time of the listing the house, if you have a seller says, I won't do this, don't show me offers. You get to choose. You don't have to ever do anything. So everything's negotiable. Let's see it. Let's see it. That's what I feel about sellers even saying, yeah, I would like to pay X amount. Okay, great. We're going to try for that. I'll let other agents, if they call, no, some might not even call. They're going to bring it. Well, I'm limited to that. We're going to hope for that. I'm going to push for that. I'm going to use my expertise to try to get that, but I'm going to present all offers. Guess what? It might get lower, might get higher, might get better. So sorry about the long video, but I've been telling all of my agents, as many as I've been talking to, over 500 agents, is that, listen, this is ongoing. You're going to see buyers agents coming to our listings doing different things that we weren't even expecting. Like I was not 100% expecting to hear, oh my God, that there's companies training agents to send a buyer's compensation form in before the offer and having a seller sign it before presenting an offer. If you are one of these agents, don't do that. Go back to your manager, go back to your broker. Don't do that. If you send it to our sellers, we're just going to go, yeah, that's fine, but bring me the whole offer so I could see it. Don't waste time sending this, even more if you're on multiple offers. Imagine you're on multiple offers. So there's 5 offers, 4 of them bring the whole offer, and you as a buyer's agent say, hey, sign this compensation form before I even look at your offer. I'm like, I got 4 other offers. I'm not, tell that buyer's agent, go away. Why are you wasting my time? I got 4 other offers here, complete offers. But again, I guess, just like in life, never ceases to surprise me things. So please, any agents, I talk to agents, a handful of agents every day from other companies, other industries, because it's moving parts. And everything I start with, this is my opinion and my experience, because I don't know how things are going to go. Every offer is different. Every buyer is different. Every seller is different. But the great thing is everything's negotiable. Everything is negotiable. And I promise you that, because I know what a great job agents do in general, because 95% of people use an agent, how people think that this is going to hurt our industry, it's not going to hurt our industry. 95% of people need us, ask for us, and use us. This is not going to change that. There are going to be some people, I promise you, there are going to be some people, sellers, that are going to pay more than what was traditional before. They will. but they're going to be happy about it because it's 100% negotiable. There's going to be agents that are making more money per transaction. I know it already. I see it. I have agents lined up for it and ready for it, and they're very secure about their services, and they're per transaction they will make more than they were before. And there are going to be some agents that just get scared and just and think that getting more business and keeping buyers and sellers happy is to go low. That I promise you that's never the long-term goal of being the cheapest or the lowest. No one wants, a majority of people don't. That's why commissions have been where they are, because the public sees value in that. There's always been these FISBO websites. There's always been for many decades, the last, Zillows, and the people have been and always will be able to buy and sell their own homes. They choose not to. There's a reason 95% of them do, because we have value, and you will always have value. No, we've been through so much technology, tools, markets, interest rates. They need expertise. It's something they don't do every day. And why do they do it? Why do they do it? Because one, they need the help. Two, greed. It's greed. Why are sellers? You don't need me to sell your house. Throw it on Zillow. Go ahead. Sell it. No, they use us because one, they want the help, and they know that we're going to help them get the highest price. Why buyers agents going to use us? I'm sorry, I'm going to continue to go on here. Why? Why? Say it. Why are buyers agents going to use us, even if we put that? Because they're nervous. I tell this to a buyer. If you go into a home unrepresented to a savvy seller, you're like you're naive, and they might take advantage of you. You as a buyer might pay more for a house, pay more closing costs. You might walk into a house and go, "Oh, I'll pay you asking price." If you had a buyer's agent, like, that's way overpriced. Two, that buyer, that listing agent works for the seller. Their job is to get you as a buyer to pay more cost than the seller, to pay higher price. Their job is to get the best for the seller. What is that seller and listing agent going to do? It's their fiduciary duty, try to get them the best. If I could convince this buyer they should pay all the seller's fees and a higher price for the house, that's their job. So don't think as a buyer, you walk into a listing without your own representation, that agent has a fiduciary responsibility to get the highest price and the best terms for the seller, and not you. So why wouldn't you make sure you had a buyer's agent that would be compensated to make sure you're not overpaying and not paying too many fees, and not scaring you into, oh, we got other offers coming in. You're going to pay more for the house. You pay more closing costs. You got there's listing agents, remember, are there to get the seller the highest price. If they could convince you to pay asking price and to pay the seller's closing costs on top of it, they will. That's their job. It's not anything bad. It's just that's their fiduciary job, is to get the highest and best for their seller. And if you come with unrepresented, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So that's why buyers are still going to use you. They don't want to put themselves in that position, right? All right, that's it. Long video. Had to get that out on Saturday, August 3rd. Thank you for watching it, if you watched the whole thing. But remember, reach out to me. You can get on my calendar, tonytalk.net. I'm happy to put in the time and talk to you and help you out with all these changes coming up. And it's a good thing, and I will help you. That's it. Have a great day, great weekend, and hope to talk to many of you very soon. Bye-bye.